Welcome back to the Oracle Scroll. Today, we're just going to talk. Hello again. I'm Kevin Walder, your host for the Oracle Scroll. And I have decided that we're going to take a little break from the exploring the deck that we've been doing over the last few days and weeks, and we're going to just have a little talk. You and I. The first thing that comes to mind is Joan Rivers' old byline that she used many years ago, decades ago now. Can we talk? And I feel like I'm in that kind of a position right now. As most of you know, I came from a very structured fundamentalist background. Hypocrisy was rampant and remains so to this day in that particular group. And it is difficult for me that's probably one of the things very difficult for me to forgive, is hypocrisy. I don't care what you're into. Own it. It's not a big deal. It's 2020. You can own it. You don't have to make a secret of it. And especially, you are not allowed to send people to hell for doing exactly what you are doing. That part is just out of reach for me. I cannot wrap my head around that. So, when we are looking at community responsibility, we have to look at the people around us. Are they holding up their end of the bargain? Are they doing what they need to do? Are they doing the right thing rather than the expedient thing? There's so much, so much falsehood in everything we do in this society right now. It is appalling, and it's absolutely unnecessary. Some of these lies that are going around could easily have been the truth, and it would have made no difference at all. No one would have had any other opinion, but no, the lie is easier for us to adopt. And that disturbs me greatly. I just have a very difficult time with that. Now, unfortunately, I'm not speaking in the abstract. I'm not speaking about people that are, perhaps attached to groups that I'm not attached to. There are plenty of those, and you know who they are. Unfortunately, I'm talking about people who are attached to me. People who are attached to groups with whom I share an affinity. And it disturbs me greatly. It disturbs me greatly that we, as a community sometimes, are so eager for answers that we'll latch ourselves onto any conspiracy theory that goes by. It depends on the direction of the wind every day as to what we're going to believe and who we're going to blame. And that, I think, is one of the things that we're having an issue with. There's always a very real need for all of us to blame someone, or to blame some group, or some region, or some nation. We have to blame someone. We cannot take responsibility for the things we're causing. And quite frankly, we are in the position we're in politically, economically, and even health-wise in our world right now because too many good people have done absolutely nothing. And some of them discourage those who are trying to do something positive. I have a very difficult time staying in line with people and ideologies that just simply do not make sense to me. And understanding how various opinions can, definitely color the way we see the world, we still have basic morality, decency, and just inclusion. We have to be able to accept everyone. And we're not in that position presently. We're not even trying in some circles. I have a very difficult time accepting the, advocating of cures or treatments, healers or healings that absolutely have no backing at all. they're not researched. They're not approved by anyone. And in fact, there are many situations where we can find reasons to believe they could be dangerous. And yet I see some people in our community advocating the use of some of these things. And it troubles me. It troubles me deeply. And it makes me question, is this where I belong? And I'm going to be honest, I have been having this kind of conversation with myself for well over a year. Actually, we're coming up on 2 years now that I have been actually having that conversation with myself as to where do I belong, and more importantly, do I belong? It's difficult. It's extremely difficult when you examine some of the things that are being said on social media, some of the things that are being said to clients and other practitioners they're unforgivable as far as I'm concerned. If I tell you I have a cure for something and you die from that very same thing, then I have done absolute damage to you. I have absolutely abdicated my integrity and my need to be involved in your spiritual practice. And I cannot accept that for myself. And I find it difficult and absolutely impossible to accept that some of my peers do find that acceptable. I'm not saying I'm leaving. I'm just saying that I am heavily in question. And I do not know where the whole thing will shake out. I've been saying for about 2 years now that I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like there's something else coming our way. And with 2020 being as it has been, I don't know what that could possibly mean. If it gets worse, we're going to be in a world of hurt. So when we look at ourselves, let's find ways to encourage, but still be realistic. And let's not overlook or gloss over someone's pain and someone's feelings of being frustrated and confused by the whole thing. We understand that. All of us are having the same situation in our lives to certain degrees. As someone says, we're all in the same storm. We are not all in the same boat. So that is something for us to remember, is that each of us is fighting a different battle. Even though it's the same all over, there are subtle differences for each person. So, can we talk? I would love to start a conversation. I would love to have people step forward and tell me a little bit more about how they're coping and dealing, and share with all of us. I just talked about insights yesterday, I think. Anyway, I just talked about insights and how we need to share those, because we really don't know who else is having the same thoughts that we're having, or the same concerns, the same doubts. Sometimes just putting it out there is like, oh, wait a minute, I get that. I understand that. I see that. That's where I am. So help me to find the way to make it all fit again. Because right now, all of our systems are broken. And I mean all of our systems, even those that are not attached to government or banking or the economy or anything of that nature. All of our systems, even our spiritual systems, they are broken. And we need to apply some first aid and do it soon. Thank you for listening, and I hope we can talk. I would love to. This is what this medium is supposed to do for us. So let's put it to work and let it work for us for a change. Thanks for listening. Thank you once again for joining us for this episode of the Oracle Scroll. My books, Tarot for Lunch, Lessons from the Cards, and more recently, 22 Teachers, Healing Lessons from the Major Arcana, are both available on Amazon.com. Please check them out. They are very informative and helpful in learning and understanding the tarot. Also, please stop by kevinwalder.com, my website. You can book appointments for any of the services available at that spot. So stop by and take a look today. And most importantly, please subscribe by hitting the little red button down below, and also click the bell to make sure you don't ever miss an episode.